Okay, so today I'm gonna talk about the absurdity of self-improvement stuff, and I've talked about this again and again, but it just never stops. So I'm just gonna keep talking about it because all that you see online, all these shorts, all these videos, all this content, it's all the same stuff. It's all the same crap. It's always telling us that you need to do some kind of extravagant thing, you need to get so much money, you need to go to the gym and become some super soldier and do all these fanciful things and at the end of the day it's like, what is all that? Like, is this really what you have to tell us? Like, it just goes to show these people have nothing constructive to say. They have no advice, they have nothing to say, and it's always the same three things. It's always get money, get muscles, and what's the other one? Just like, I don't even know what the other one is. Like, uh, get become a good guy, like become a nice guy. That's the third one, and it's like, it's not gonna work. It's just not working. It's just such a naive idea and such a short-sighted idea that the problem, you really think the problem we have now is that guys aren't jacked enough. They're not muscled enough. They don't have enough muscles. They're not big enough. They're not, they don't make enough money. They're not nice enough. They're not cool enough. Is that really the problem we have now, or is it something a little bit deeper? I mean, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, were guys more buff? Were guys nicer and cooler? 1,000 years ago, were they more buff? Were they what's the other one? Were they what did they say? Uh, what's the other one they say? Buff, nice. Did they make more money back in the day? I mean, that one is kind of maybe true because they made more money comparatively. Um, Comparatively, they made more money. Now they make more money in comparison, at least for young people. But other than that, like, guys back in the day, they were like children. I mean, they, if you look at pictures back in the day, everyone was super skinny because there was no food and everybody was sick all the time. People didn't have good physical condition. People didn't look good or whatever. People are bigger and stronger than ever nowadays. It's kind of ridiculous if you compare guys that go to the gym, just random guys that go to the gym, to Hercules statues, which is supposed to be like the pinnacle of physical aptitude and strength. If you compare a Hercules statue with a guy in the gym, some random dude in the gym, uh, the guy in the gym is probably going to be more buff than the Hercules statue. I mean, do it if you don't believe me. It's like ridiculous. Like, I think we're buff enough. I think we're big enough. I think that's okay. I think we're nice enough. I mean, guys back in the day used to just burn people at the stake. They used to kill people in the street. They used to. It used to be like a. It used to be like a murder house everywhere. You could die at any time. There was just no. It was a chaos. Okay, so I don't think people were nicer or more pleasant or whatever back in the day. Now the money aspect, sure, I guess comparatively they had more money to offer, but I doubt that having more money now, at least for a large part of man, is really going to be some kind of great solution. I mean, maybe for, if a few men, the few most richest men will attract a certain type of person to them, but as a general solution for the masses, getting more money isn't saving anybody. And even if it did, even if, let's say, that helped, even if getting money somehow made you some kind of admirable person that people would love and stuff, which it doesn't, you don't actually get shit for that, probably, usually. Even if that worked, right? Do you really think it's easy? Do you think it's easy to just get money? People say that like it's nothing. Just become rich, bro. Just get rich, bro. Andrew Tate did it. Andrew Tate did it. He talked he talked with Indian dudes on OnlyFans. Fucking, he pretended to be some girl on OnlyFans for like months and months and months, in some garage, for months, and he got money off of them, bro. He became a millionaire, bro, and he became an online scammer, and he got a bunch of money off of idiots online. You can do it too, bro. It reads 48 laws of powers, bro. It's not that hard, bro. It's like, you're just completely in the delusional state. Uh, all these scammers you see online, all these get rich quick idiots, they all got rich because they scammed you, okay? And not everybody can be a scammer. Not everybody can scam everybody else. At some point, it doesn't work, right? So if you want to get money, it's not easy. It's very difficult generally. It takes years and years and decades, and it takes an education usually, and it takes contacts, and it takes knowledge, and it takes, probably nepotism. It probably takes people to you knowing people in certain places. It takes an enormous amount of dedication and a certain type of mental composition. And not everybody can do it. Some people are just not built like that. So, and people are just already, yeah, people are already trying so hard to become successful and get money. They're already getting pressurized, put pressure on by their parents, by the internet, by the culture, by the people around them, by everyone telling them they're a loser. They're already trying so hard to be successful, and it's not working. And putting more pressure, telling them they need to do it harder because otherwise they won't get anything. Otherwise they'll stay losers or whatever. That's not gonna help them. Okay, I think they've already been put through a maximum amount of pressure. You're not gonna be able to squeeze out more effort out of these people just by screaming at them and telling them they need to work harder, otherwise they're losers. People are already trying hard enough for the most part, and the reason why they can't be successful aren't really because they didn't hear it enough or people didn't tell them enough. It's usually because of reasons that aren't solvable by just saying a magical string of words or hearing it on a podcast. It's probably very deep seated reasons like mental health, like certain mental illnesses, genetic problems, a bunch of just being genetically destroyed. And some people have terrible genetics, they look terrible, they have terrible health, their mind is in a disarray because of who knows what, because of toxins, because of malnutrition, because of just genetic defects. I mean, mental illness is higher than ever. You think that you saying some couple of words on a podcast is gonna save them? Why would that help anything? There's no power in that. That's nothing. What these people would need to even have a chance of having any kind of success in life would be an entire institution, an entire gigantic group of people working day and night trying to put them back up on their feet. And that wouldn't even work for the most part. These people are already kind of older. A lot of them are adults. I mean, as so many people are adults and they need help, uh, it's there's not much to be done. Once someone is a certain age, you can't really change them so much. And this is why I think it's so goofy. Like these narratives that you need to be some kind of incredible person, that you need to achieve some kind of incredible standard, ridiculous standard that is only applied to men, by the way, that you need to go to the gym and so much inject yourself with all sorts of steroids, inject yourself with mutant serum until you look like Hulk. You're like some kind of doom monster, like some ridiculously buffed. You need to be 8 feet tall. Like these ridiculous standards. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but like it seems like that's what they're pointing towards because even bodybuilders aren't masculine enough, aren't big enough. Even guys to go to the gym like 5 times a week and they're more buff than Hercules. These guys aren't big enough. So what do you want at this point? Do you want us to like become fucking like uh horror monsters that are like 7 feet tall? Is that what we're supposed to be? Like I think it's a little bit unfair at this point. I think it's not quite right, in my opinion. And these standards only get put on men, by the way. No standards on women, nothing at all. I mean, men have to be uh emperors of humanity, just superheroes and ridiculous creatures. Apparently they have to be the one that I like, they have to be like emotionally intelligent, which is so ridiculous because, of course, emotional intelligence matters a lot and it's a pretty important capacity. But where do you think you're gonna get the emotional intelligence? Like, what do you mean by emotional intelligence anyway? Do you mean like being nice or like being cordial or being honest? Like, okay, maybe that you can get that from, you can teach someone to do that, but I think these people don't realize that what they're asking for, the standard that they're putting, is for someone to be so emotionally intelligent that it's like the equivalent of being 150 IQ. Like they want people that are just uncannily in tune with their own emotion and that just can understand people like a book and that know how to solve any situation and to de-escalate any confrontation and to just do almost like they're born with the talents of a therapist or a psychotherapist. Just naturally they can do like dialectical behavioral therapies like it's nothing. They can just deal with everybody's problem, and they have perfect composure and perfect emotional control. They never get angry. They're always in the right state of mind, perfect mental health. Like that's what you're supposed to be. That's what these people seem like they're asking for when they say you need to be emotionally intelligent and men need to learn emotional intelligence. You're not gonna learn that. I think you're asking for something way bigger than you realize. People aren't just gonna learn to be emotional geniuses from nowhere, especially when they grew up in a society that didn't teach them shit. Like, it's a pretty unrealistic solution, and I think that's gonna. I think it's already evident. It's gonna become even more evident with time, but I think it's already pretty evident that just all these bland platitudes that these people say, that you just need to be more in tune with your emotion, more emotionally intelligent, you need to be buffer, you need to be richer, like that's not working. We've said that enough, right? Like, there's enough podcasts, enough TikToks, enough YouTube shorts, enough scammers online, enough boomers, enough people on our backs telling us to work harder and to do this and do that. There's enough people that have told us this, but it seems like it's still not working. That's kind of strange, right? How peculiar is that? It's almost like it's not that simple. It's almost like it's deeper than that. It's almost like it's not really about us. It's about all these material causes that were pre-existent to our lives, all these societal conditions that were completely broken and fucked up when we happened to come to in this world, and just gave us the shittiest head start, the shittiest, like, I don't know, head start, but the shittiest start possible. And now we're like in this purgatory where we don't know what we're doing. All this crap is not gonna work. Like, all this stuff that you see on podcasts is not gonna work. If it would work, if it's something that could work, it would have already started to work. You would have already seen some improvement just from it being kind of a more popular conversation. But it's not working. It's not like that. You can't just listen to somebody tell you work hard and blah, 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 and that just helps you. This is why it's just completely absurd, all this stuff. But that's not it, because there's something very insidious. It's actually something kind of evil, kind of like, I don't think these people realize that what they're saying has this element, but there's something very kind of there's something kind of disgusting about saying that, because when you tell all these guys that you need to do this, you need to get a ton of money, you need to be a millionaire, you need to become a bodybuilder, you need to be emotionally intelligent and so strong mentally and so in tune and self improve your mindset until blah blah blah. When you tell them all these things, what you're implying, what you're actually telling them is that they're not good enough right now. Right now, they're not good enough at all. In fact, they're pitiful. They don't deserve anything right now. They deserve all the crap that their life is. They deserve to be poor and destitute and hated and ignored and neglected by everybody. And because they're not good enough, because they didn't self improve enough, because they weren't buff enough, because they didn't get money enough, they weren't enough of a productive financial economic unit. They didn't provide, they didn't work and break their back and work 12 hours a day at the office or whatever they're gonna work. They didn't give enough to society to deserve even a crumb of something. That's what you're telling them, and it's just false. It's just false. Were men in the past, men 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 1,000 years ago, were all these men more worthy? Were they better people? Did they deserve more respect and love from the people around them, more resources? Did they deserve more? Did all these guys in the past, did they really deserve more? Or was that just the way society was set up? Was that just the way things were? They just being rewarded for whatever they were doing? It seems to me like that was the case. It seems to me like we're not really doing anything wrong. We're not really not good enough. It's more that just people don't care anymore. It's just that society doesn't really value you anymore. That seems more like it, and that seems more like the problem to me. That half of society is just been devalued so much to an absurd degree. Maybe that's kind of the problem. Maybe that's what we should be looking at. But people are just not going to admit anything. People are not going to talk about the the actual issue. They're not going to question the fundamental assumption of societies, because we've built our entire society on it. Because people feel like it's a zero sum game, and there might be, if men win or whatever, if we change things a certain way, someone else is going to get persecuted, and we need to maintain the good things that we've gotten until now. So people are just never going to admit it. And I genuinely think, because of our just dishonesty and just inability to be honest, and just the fact that all the people who can speak, who have a microphone and a platform, they just don't care at all because they're rich and they're good. And I think we're genuinely going to destroy ourselves. But yeah.